Yesterday I was at the airport of Osaka, and I started my challenge to shoot one video per day in several languages. So I'm French and I speak a little English and a little Japanese. So I want to explain what I live and what I feel in these languages to be able to communicate with more and more people. And I started to do my video in French, so that's quite easy. And after I tried to do that in English as well. Uh, the challenge starts really at that moment, and and after that I say, okay, let's do that in Japanese now. And I realized that my 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 skills in Japanese are less than the one in English. So you can imagine that it's not really wonderful. But the point is that at the end, uh, I couldn't do it. I couldn't, or I wouldn't. I was not sure. And during the way to go back home, because I don't live at Osaka but near Kyoto, so I have 2 hours 2 hours drive to go to home. And finally, I wonder why I had to leave that. That's the first point. And the second point is, I was, I feel like, the child that who couldn't do that, couldn't do something, and nobody said, hey, you can do it, just do it, go, go, go. And after you say, oh, I'm not really good, I couldn't do that, I couldn't afford. And I couldn't, I couldn't skip to think about this. And this morning I realized that finally I put myself directly into a small box, and I probably put the top, the roof on the top as well. And I realized that finally I put myself into this box, because nobody told me you have to do the same video in English as in French, or in Japanese as in English. Finally, myself is complex. I am not the same person in English, and I am not the same person in Japanese. So I will not be able to express the same thing, first of all. And after that, the languages are different as well. So some expressions or some words, they don't exist in some languages. So I cannot be myself in French, in English, or in Japanese, because myself is the sum of all these parts. So I realized that uh, I put myself in small box, and that was completely silent. I I realized that after, because I was so frustrated to avoid to do my Japanese video. So that's the reason why I discovered that I put myself in a box. But I could finally live like this, and without without understand or realize that finally I put myself in a situation where I become frustrated. And so now I just want to say, maybe you as well, you put yourself in some limitation, and don't forget that you are a complex people, a complex person, and you are so huge inside. So you are the aggregation of many parts, and probably some parts you don't know. And because I realized that finally I would be able to do something in Japanese and to express something in Japanese. like here, you can feel the limitation of my vocabulary in English, and finally, I'm sure you can understand the feeling, you can understand the energy, or at least you can feel it. And that was my point for today. So tomorrow is another day, so see you tomorrow.